good, yo. So, it starts with really seeing the vision. To get somewhere, you know, you must know why you are trying to get there first, y'all. So observe that thought. Your vision, you can absolutely exploit that and make it come true. That's your power. That's no matter what. It's just, it's gonna take time. So all you have to worry about is repetition. Get in that state of, reps, showing up. Can you get better at it? Or, can you improve over time? You might not be where you wanna be, but you gotta remind yourself you're the product, you're the marketer, or you're the rising star. So when you stay and be still, that's when everything around you starts to flutter or show up in your life, y'all. Believe this or not. Now when I speak, y'all, I speak through experiences in my life to give you a point of a different person's tale or perspective, y'all. So as I give y'all this video with these gems, you know, whatever you are shooting for, you can absolutely hit it, with a pure accuracy. It's just, you gotta stay doing that, and you must train yourself, And the reason I say it can happen, no matter what, you might doubt yourself in the beginning, the stages, right? But that's because, that's normal. You care deeply about yourself. So that worriness, it's normal for you to feel that way because you're not there yet. So you don't know what's going to happen. But that's why you must trust yourself. You trusted yourself enough to even take the risk to do something. So that's why it starts with you asking the universe, can I, actually get there, y'all? And all you have to do, y'all, is take action, show up. Well, what's most importantly is, believing in yourself when no one does, y'all, because what no one tells you, y'all, is that you're not going to have people showing up for you or applauding you or reminding you. It's not like school, y'all, to where it was mandatory. You had to show up. Whatever you are doing in life, y'all, you have to want to do it. That's why people say, family, the vision you are shooting for, most people can't shoot for what they are looking for, y'all, because they gave up. You might have hope, but them, they have no hopes. So that's why, comfortability is one of the worst drugs in the world, because people, all they know is comfort, y'all. 90% of people in this world, not even generation, but in this world, choose comfort than growth, because growth is not an easy thing to do. Growth is something that you must do even when you don't want to do it, y'all. That's the difference between you and the ones that are not in your position. Your thoughts are never ending, rising upwards. Them, they're just reflecting on what they're going to do tomorrow, but they're not seeing anything new hitting their brain because they already know what to expect. So this video is necessarily about reminding you that time is on your side. So don't worry about the time, y'all. You just must be worrying about yourself and what you are doing in the moment. You only have 24 hours in a day, y'all. Think about that. That's not a long time because you sleep for 8 of those hours maybe. So you only have 16, right? So let's just say, you work out. You might have not started in the beginning, but you work out, right? Well, you do know that it is bound to see results, y'all. No matter what you work out. No matter if it's your full body, no matter if it's your legs, no matter if it's your arms, anything, it's gonna work out. Over time or a period, you will see the gain. You will see you feel stronger or you look better overall. But that's growth. That signifies that what you do, it is boundless to not think you're not gonna see results here. Yes, you will. You will see those results because you've seen results after 2 weeks of hard working out, right? Never stopping, giving it your all because you wanted to see if you can get better at something, and you did. So So what makes you think whatever you are doing, whatever you are shooting for, you know, this goes with anything in life, y'all. Even with women, you know, or just friendships, because you must have what it truly means in your will to know that, well, my potential, you know, I can get somewhere, y'all, if I unlock that part of myself by never stopping. Even if I don't feel comfortable now, you will get comfortable over time at doing something you love doing. You just gotta stay long enough because time is on your side, y'all. So, you know, if you have a vision right now, you know, maybe, you know, you are trying to get this job, you want these opportunities to fall in your lap, or you want to get somewhere with, you know, a pretty woman or a pretty male. You know, you're trying to start life, right, with someone. Well, it's gonna show in your reality as the reality around you tests you to see are you strong enough to get what you are asking from the universe. You know, feel me? So whatever you want, it can happen, but you must pass every test with being calm, staying silent out here in a world like this. Yo, silence is important for, you know, your vision. Your vision could be trying to, you know, start something, which is your business. Well, focus on the beginning stages. Don't worry about the end, because the end, y'all, it's not gonna help you because you're not there yet. So you're overthinking. Trust, you're good, y'all, and trust yourself. Because if you focus on the beginning, well, when you start doing better, that's gonna eventually show in the middle and in the end, y'all, because you stayed in one phase. So this is why, y'all, if you have a vision, especially in your earlier days, y'all, I don't know how old you might be watching this video, but it found you for a reason. So I'm going to tell you right now, man, there's no way in hell that you can't reach whatever you are looking for. Even if this shit is unrealistic to you, well, that's because you haven't made it seem that way. You know, it becomes realistic when you start putting in actions toward, you know, your growth. So I'll remind y'all, family, you know, when no one believes in you, y'all, and all you see is yourself left with the wall never left you, y'all, because when you were with the wall, that's when these thoughts hit your mind to what you became and what you started doing. So for the vloggers, for the content creators, and for the people who work jobs, y'all, well, whatever you are looking for, maybe a better phase, you know, you're stronger than maybe what you see yourself as. So don't give up necessarily now, because you're watching this video and I'm putting, you know, will into your brain, man. You know, will is what keeps you going, even if you're running out of gas, y'all, because you're not operating out of gas no more. You're operating off of identity and, you know, the love for the game, y'all. You know, I'll, you know, always tell you and remind you that, you know, you can do anything you want to do, family. You know, that's why my channel speaks volumes, y'all, because I go in depth, you know. I was at a time in my life, y'all, to where I didn't know what I was gonna do because I haven't took action on nothing, right? If you would have told me 2 or 3 years ago this is what I would be doing, y'all, you know, the music I would have did, y'all, I would have looked at myself and, you know, would have laughed or would have felt like, nah, I'll never do any of that because I didn't see it, you know. Being a righteous person, y'all, and staying true to God, you know, when you actually become a celibate being, y'all, not just saying that, but actually live that way, when you start looking at life differently, y'all, because over time, y'all, over a course of just so many days passing by, your mind is seeking change, because that just shows you that you're a different person. You stand out from other people. I'm gonna make a video on why you stand out, you know, but you must realize that is already giving you a couple steps ahead of the people who are thinking about this. You're not thinking about this, you're choosing to do it, so you started, right? So that's why, you know, you are always, you know, outcasted or in a way, family. Because remember, God's, on your side. That's why he was reminding you that why do I feel different around these people that I don't necessarily not fuck with, but I don't get. I don't like talking about certain things. I like acting and becoming. That's the difference. It's not that you're around gossipers, but you're around people who don't see true potential in themselves yet. You already know your potential, family. Especially if you meditate, yo, and your mind is clear, you have all the time in the world to seek betterance, not stagnation. You know. So this is why I remind y'all, family, that nobody else will. So let me be your alarm clock, and let me be your reminder to show you that you do matter. Because even if you are speck across all the ones that are living in this world, in this timeline, with time, you have the ability to advance and look at who you once were. Family? So this was the video. Feel free to go watch my other, videos. I drop real authenticness in everything, but only on your time, because I know that everybody has to do something with their time, Time is not forever, it's unlimited. Yeah, for now, but it is limited to us all in the long run, because, we're not gonna be here forever. So that's why you should really be looking at this shit like, damn, I'm losing time, every single day, one day I'm losing if I didn't take action. And I felt that day was worth living, when you truly are trying to live with worth, or you are trying to become worth, worth is built in silence, because your worth is rising when you're only around the walls or just around yourself. That's when nobody's gonna tell you, chosen one. God's isolating you because he wants you to choose growth. He wants you to choose the mission you came here down that you don't remember, but it's coming into your brain for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, as long as you question yourself enough to start thinking about what you want to be. But this video is not gonna hit everybody up, because not everybody's fine with change. Some people don't see nothing for themselves, they're just happy with living. And I salute to y'all too, because at least you're trying to take full advantage of your life, and you're just trying to live it. You don't know why you're here, but you're just living because that's what you were put down here to do. So you're gonna live. I get you, but for the people who are not finna just stay still and live and accept this shit, nah, you gonna change this dynamic. Because that's your energy, that's your presence. That's why you are different, Your presence is unlike them. That's why they don't feel they have what it takes to stand out. They're looking at how people view them. You're looking at how you can make the world better, because you realize that time is not on your side forever, So think about that, family. This shit is deep out here, We are all gonna leave this world one day. It's not about that though. It's about knowing that you are happy with doing what you are doing now, because that just shows you truly appreciate it and fulfilled, living your best the way you can, Don't be, dwelling in heartbreaks, or, feeling like people cut you off, or just, maybe you're not where you want to be now, so you're rushing. Don't do none of that, because your energy is, going to be where you are headed, as long as you protect it. Protect your energy, That's the most important thing. That's the only thing that is, reminding you of who you are and what you can become. Because your energy is truly what is valuable, That's how people, are reminded by your presence. You make people feel you, man, on a metaphysical level, Because remember, you see tunnel vision, with aura, light, But I'll see you on the next video, family. I just want to remind you that, You already knew this though if you tapped on this video. So all you gotta do, y'all, is take time and upgrading yourself with repetitions, you know, and belief, y'all. Have the power of belief on your side, y'all. You know, that no talk juice with y'all that Naruto was trying to give y'all, you know, that shit ain't no hoax, man. That shit real life gems, man, in front of you. But I'll see y'all, man. Stay up out here.